So the first book I got is Perfect by Ellen Hopkins, and the first book is Impulse, but I don't have Impulse. I read on the internet that you don't have to read Impulse to read Perfect, but I'm going to get Impulse and then I'm going to read it, but I got this book without knowing that, so hate on me for it. But it's about 4 high school seniors who each of their parents have certain goals for them in life, and each of them struggle with like obtaining that perfection that their parents see for them. So that's what this book is about, and I'm really excited to read this book. My aunt bought this one for me. She like picked it up, she's like, Lexi, read this, and like I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, oh, I'll get it for you. So I was like, oh my god, yay. So the first book is Perfect by Ellen Hopkins, and I am super excited to read this book. The next book I got is The List by Siobhan Vivian. I do not know if I pronounced that right, but I really hope I did. So basically, it's about 2 girls, like one is named the prettiest and one is named the ugliest, and then like all the other girls at the school are forgotten. So it's about all of these girls and how like, oh, this one's the prettiest and this one's the ugliest, and then some of the other ones about, oh, I'm gonna be forgotten, people aren't gonna remember who I am, and blah blah blah. The first time I saw this book was at Target, and I was like, oh, this sounds good, but I was like, I want to buy this book and I'm not gonna get this book. So I've been wanting this book for a long time. I'm really excited to read it, and I'm glad I finally got it. The next book I got is Through to You by Lauren Barnhold. I don't know if I said that right. I'm horrible at pronouncing names. But this one's about like opposites attract, and then like, but then they can complicate. She threaded a piece of blue and green tinsel through her ponytail in honor of School Spirit Day one day at school, and she gets a note from this boy, and it says, I like your sparkle. The note is from a guy, his name is Penn, and he's the residential heartbreaker senior of the school, and she is really surprised by his attention that he's giving her, but they hang out, they have fun. It says they talk and they make out. And both of them have different ideas about what they expect in a relationship. Harper and Penn understand that their attraction to each other is a lot illogical, but something keeps pulling them together. It says it's a crazy roller coaster, exhilarating, terrifying, and amazing all at once, and neither knows how to stop the ride. So I'm super excited about this book. I love love stories that are complicated and like opposites and stuff, and so I really am excited about this book. I think this might be the first one that I read. I didn't know though, so. The next book I got is called, I got like 3 books that have the word list in them. So this one's called The Hate List by Jennifer Brown, and I am super excited about this. My aunt picked this one up too, and she's like, oh my gosh, this sounds like really interesting, but in like a weird way. So this one is about a girl and her boyfriend. They made a list of people they hate. And one day at school, her boyfriend opens fire in the cafeteria, like with like, he kills people. It's about like after the summer that happened and like all those people died. It's after the summer and like when the school year is starting up again, and she's like trying to like get a grip on all this stuff. Like she still is in love with her boyfriend. These rocky relationships with her family, her former friends, and the girls whose life she apparently saved. She must come to like grips with all this tragedy in her life and try to make something out of it. So I'm super excited about this book. I love mystery books, so this should be a really interesting book. The next book I got is called I don't want to say, I'll just beep it out. The next book I called is called The Hate List by Julie Halpern. Now this book is about a girl, her best friend has cancer, and her treatment that they're doing, they don't know like what the outcome of it is going to be. And so her best friend Alex decides that she is going to complete her bucket list for her. And so like she has like, oh yeah, spend the night at the beach and watch the sunset, and she's like, okay, I can do that. And then the next is like tell off this girl at school, and she's like, oh, I can do that. The next is like, and then another one's like fall in love, and she's like, what? And so this book is about living fully, living authentically, and overall just living and friendship and love and all that stuff. So I'm super excited about this book, and this should be a really good one. Those were all the books that I got at Barnes & Noble, and the next 2 books I got at Target. I was like, okay, I'm done book shopping for the day, and then we get to Target, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go look at books to see if there's like any good ones. And I bought 2 more. Knowing Lexi, that's what she does. And so the first book is called Signs Point to Yes by Sandy Hall. It was 20, and they were both 20% off, so it was okay. This is a love story about this girl named Jane and Tio. She lost her like perfect internship, and she has like this perfect sister apparently, and she gets this babysitting job, and it requires her to like be in like close proximity with her crush. His name is Tio, and he's a nerdy lifeguard with problems of his own. So he does not have his best friend in town, so he finds himself without anybody he can confide in, and it says, will Jane and Tio be able to salvage each other's summer? And then it says, even the magic 8-ball doesn't know the answer, but signs point to yes. So I'm really excited about this book. Like I said, I love love stories. I love them. Me gusta. Love story. That didn't make sense. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Actually, I might start with this one. I don't know. See, but then again, the next book I'm going to show you, I might start with that one. I don't know. I'm going to have a really hard time. And I still have a bunch of books on here that I need to read. Oh my god, I have so many books that I need to read. The last and final book I got is called, okay, let me take this 20% off. I like keeping books like perfect. Like they can be like, oh, it looks like you read them, but like if it's all like scrunched up and like ripped, I hate that. Oh my god, I have OCD to the max. So this book is called All the Bright Places, not All the Right Places, All the Bright Places, by Jennifer Niven. This book is about a girl and a boy. It's another love story. Oh, I like love stories, mysteries, and oh my gosh, and like dystopian novels. I don't like fantasy. I don't like books like Harry Potter. Like I will never read that series. And sorry if I offend you like that. Like there's nothing wrong with those books and they're so popular, but I am the kind of person that does not like, not unrealistic books, but like books where you have magic powers and all that stuff. Like I'm sure it's a great book, but I don't like books like that. My camera stopped filming when I was talking about it. So this is about a guy, his name is Theodore Finch, and he's fascinated with death, and every day he like comes up with like a theory on how he thinks he could die. Violet Markey lives for the future, counting the days until graduation when she can escape her small Indian town and her aching grief in the wake of her sister's death. And so they both meet on a rooftop one day. I think it's the rooftop of their school. And it says they don't really know who saves who. I'm sorry about that slamming. Finch says where the road takes them, the grand, the small, the bizarre, the beautiful, the ugly, the surprising, just like life. Soon it's only with Violet that Finch can be himself, a bold, funny, live, outgoing, loud guy who's not such a freak after all. And it's only with Finch that Violet forgets to count away the days and start living them. But as Violet's world grows, Finch starts to shrink. This is a heart-wrenching, unflinching story of love shared, life lived, and two teens who find one another standing on the edge. So this I'm really excited about. The last thing I got from Target was these magnetic bookmarks. They remind me of my mom. So yeah, I got those. But yeah, that was my book haul, and I hope you all enjoyed. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!